You know, I'm very frustrated this morning. I woke up and I didn't know that Amazon was doing this now, but I actually had a push notification from Amazon. It's not here anymore because I clicked into it. But it was a buyer message that was actually from a brand. And I made a video about something similar to this a long time ago, but I haven't seen a lot of other videos in this space about how to deal with brands when they reach out to you or when you get IP claims. And this is not the first time that I got a message from this brand, even though I thought that we had worked this all out. But I'm also in the middle of uploading every day in December, and I need some coffee to do that because I got a lot of videos to do today. So let's make some coffee while we talk about it. But I know that this is something that almost everybody who sells on Amazon can relate with. And even though most people do sell more than me on Amazon who post YouTube videos about it, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. So just really quickly, let's go over exactly what happened with this brand specifically, and then I think I have one open IP claim that I can show you. Oh no, the battery's low. Time to get out the seconds ago. I'll just show you how I deal with it. This has been refined through a bunch of comments as I made other videos like this. I'm just gonna grab my laptop and I'll open up the first message and we can talk about why I got it and what I did about it then. I'm having to restart my phone because my hotspot isn't working. So in the meantime, if you don't know what I'm talking about, an IP claim is basically an intellectual property claim. If you're doing retail arbitrage, which is pretty much all that I do, this is something that you can run into even in the very beginning, because there are specific brands that don't want you to be selling their products, and so they'll have what's called a brand enforcement team reach out to you. There's normally two ways that they do this, and we'll talk about both of the ways. The way that this brand did it is my preferred way because I think it's the most ethical, and the second way just gives you an automatic IP claim that you have to deal with. Unfortunately though, this doesn't fill up enough water to do the whole Chemex, so we're gonna have to fill it up twice. Oh, that's not good, I smell gas. Is that on correctly? Oh no. What the heck? Oh, I smell gas, that's not good. That's not how it's supposed to go. Whoa. Glad I still have my hair. I'll smell for it. Seems like this is what it should be. Okay, so we're just gonna go into this brand. I'm gonna go into my buyer messages. And don't worry, we do have ventilation. We got like a 10 by 10 hole in the roof for the fan. And a carbon monoxide monitor. I don't think I'll be dying today. Also, Seller Central seems to be down today. I don't really know what's going on. So let's see if it'll work on my phone. Go into Amazon Seller Central. And normally they'll be down here in communications. And then response needed right now is 0. But we can go over to my received messages. And both of these are actually from the same company, even though they had different names, which was very weird to me. So first, we'll click into this one. Oh, there was an error. Why is there an error? Of course, Seller Central is down the day that I want to do this. Let's go to my email, because they do send you an email when they send you these buyer messages. But you would either have something that says buyer messages, and then it would pop up under or over a 24-hour target here. Always want to respond to those within 24 hours, even if you're just saying, hey, I'll respond to the email that you gave me in your message. And then you could also go onto the app and look at it, but let's just go into my email and look at them. This is the first one from just about a month ago. The message says, it is necessary to clear some doubts concerning ASIN, and I'll show you what this product is, just in case you're buying it. And I have some questions to ask. Is the product really the original one? Get back with more details. Thanks. So that's the first message that you get right there. And this is when a brand, I feel, is doing it correctly because they're actually asking you to verify stuff instead of the other main type of IP claim that you might get, which is, unfortunately, a counterfeit IP claim without a test buy, which I don't even understand how they're allowed to do. Okay, this is boiling. We're gonna set it down for a second so we're not pouring perfectly boiled water onto our grounds. But let me just show you what that other IP claim looks like real quick. So back over into Seller Central, I would go to Performance, Account Health, and then we have received intellectual property complaints. Now it looks like I have two open actually. This one, Alltech Lansing, is a brand that I've had a lot of problems with. I've sold a decent amount. They've given me a lot of IP claims, so don't do that. And then this one I'm really surprised with because I've sold a bunch of their stuff before. And so I actually have to do a plan of action for that one and update my plan of action for this one. But we'll get to that later. As you can see though, it's really dumb because it says counterfeit without a test buy. How would you know it's counterfeit without a test buy? Why is that the option that they have? I think that's really, really stupid. So that always frustrates me to no end because I'm sure that like a competitor could just do that, which is really stupid and frustrating. Going back to this, let's look at what the ASIN was first. So this is the ASIN. It is a phone case that I bought actually at Staples. Actually, both of these products I bought at Staples. And I think it's because they're newer products, which is why they do this. Because this brand, Gear 4, is something that I sold a lot of from Burlington. And I think that since this phone case that I was selling is for the newer phones, I think that's why they actually requested that I prove that it was new. Because that brand actually got liquidated to like Burlington's and Ross's, and I was selling a bunch of them like 6 or 8 months ago without any problems. But that is something that I'll be looking out for now, and earning a couple dollars of profit isn't worth potentially getting your Amazon account deactivated, especially because you'll see in the next message after I read you the first message, they actually escalated their language, which leads me to believe that they're serious and they know what they're talking about. I really miss a gooseneck kettle, the ones that have like the spouts that go all the way like this, because this is a really big pain to bloom things with. You really got very little control. But at least we'll have coffee at the end of this. Ow, that was hot. And all you coffee snobs out there, I know this isn't the right way to make a Chemex, but when you're living in a van, sometimes you gotta make concessions. We've been running low on water and haven't been filling up, so I was really hoping that it wasn't gonna go out during this. Luckily, it hasn't. Otherwise, we'd have some super strong coffee. Okay, back to the messages. I'm not sure if this is a requirement from Amazon or since it was a buyer message, they have to add an attachment. But what came attached to this message was this document. This is what the email said. Essentially, it's come to our attention that you're offering products under the Zag brands, which I didn't even know about. We have not been able to identify you in the authorized supply chain. To ensure protection, we actively monitor our product. For items listed as new, Amazon's condition guidelines state original manufacturer warranty, blah, 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 blah. As you're likely aware, we do not extend warranty protection to products purchased through online marketplaces from unauthorized resellers. Failure to inform prospective purchasers of this difference may constitute materially different product, blah, blah, blah. Please remove your listing immediately or send evidence that your listing is authorized to amzbrandprotection@zag.com. Failure to properly respond will result in reporting listing violations to Amazon, which may result in cancellation of listings, blah, blah, blah. With respect, Zag brand enforcement. Now, when I first got that message, I was a little bit scared. Obviously, I didn't know what Zag products I was selling, and so I looked it up. I saw it was that phone case, and I just purchased it from Staples, so they were kind of on top of it. I initially bought it and only was expecting to get about 50% return on investment out of it. But here are the quick steps that I took to try to remedy this situation, and if that was the only product that I had from that brand, because unknowingly I have another which they reached out to me about today, it should have been fine. Very first thing that I did was drop my prices to sell, and I changed my repricing tactic to be the most aggressive possible because I wanted to get it out of my inventory. Actually, that's not true. I forgot one pretty important step. Step 0 was responding to the message on Amazon, because you have to respond to it within 24 hours to be within their targets, letting them know that I would reach out to the email that they gave me on that little picture that they sent. That way I was in the clear with Amazon, and I bought myself a little bit of extra time because I'm sure that they were expecting a response within like 2 or 3 days as opposed to Amazon's 24-hour target, and this was a Friday, so I had all of Friday to not worry about it. I changed my prices to sell it as fast as possible, and as long as it sold by like Monday or Tuesday, I would delete the product and close the listing. Since it was only one product, first off, this was a little bit risky, so I'm not necessarily recommending that you do this, but second off, I felt that it would just be easier to try to get it sold and then close the listing instead of getting it sent back to me, especially because I don't really have a place to get it sent back to. And if it didn't sell within 2 days, I was gonna get it sent back to me and just delete the product and listing anyways. So the second step was selling it, so it got sold. Luckily, I think it sold within 2 days because I had to drop my price like $4 or $5 below everybody else, and I still ended up making like $1 of profit on it, which is pretty cool. Right after it sold, I deleted the product and listing, but especially now that I got the second email from them. So after I deleted this, I thought I was totally good and in the clear. I did actually get the product returned to me at some point, so I had to recreate the listing, but luckily it sold again within a day because I kept the price super, super low, and I thought that that would be the end of it, and I just would make sure to not buy any Zag products again, but unfortunately, I guess I did, because I think Zag is the parent brand, and they have a bunch of brands under them. Actually, let me see how many brands they have, if they have it on their website. Okay, so these are the brands that it says that it owns. It says iFrog, which I've never been able to sell their products, Mophie, which I just was able to sell their products, and that's the brand that we're getting to here in a second, Braven, Gear 4, and Halo. I was really worried I was going to pull up that list and realize there were more products that I sell that I didn't know that were from that brand. Luckily, they're not. All right, coffee's almost done, so let's get into the email that I got sent today that I got woken up to, which is actually very much an escalation from that email, and I didn't even realize it. This is the product that it was in regards to, Mophie, and I actually just deleted that listing, so I'm a little bit confused as to why it's still there. So I'm gonna just go and delete the product and listing and close it again. An error occurred. It's because Seller Central's been down. But it shouldn't be that big of an issue because I let them know what I was going to be doing. This one does have one that I will have to get sent back to me, but I still actually might reach out to the brand and let them know where I got the products from, but I just have to sort through all of my receipts to show them. Here is the message that you get on Amazon before you open up the document that they send. It reads honestly really similarly to the other one. It just says, it is important to review the added files. This message is regarding the item ASIN, blah, blah, blah. The Mophie, need to ask is the product the original one? Please read the added note. Thanks. And then the added note is a little more serious. So this is where I got a little bit scared, honestly, because it says, we see that you are still offering products branded under one or more of the Zag brands for sale in new condition. As such, a warranty does not apply to the Zag products you list. So it says, we are engaging Amazon regarding violation of its selling policies and anticipate prompt action being taken. And that is the sentence that freaked me out a little bit, because that's just going to be another IP claim. And the more IP claims you get, the closer you are to your account getting disabled. I don't think anybody knows the exact number, but essentially you want to have 0 and you want to deal with them all quickly to make sure that you can keep selling, because continuing to sell on Amazon is the most important thing, not a couple dollars of profit that you might make if an IP claim is a potential possibility with that. But luckily, since they seem to be a sensible brand, the next paragraph calmed my fears a little bit, and we'll read what I responded to them. Said, as you're aware, sellers who violate the policy risk losing Amazon privileges. You may still be able to avoid these Amazon penalties by immediately reclassifying the condition of your product listing as a condition other than new, or removing your listing entirely. Respectfully, Zag Brands brand enforcement. Now this is a little bit different to what happened in this video, which was Casemate, where I reached back out to them, but they never ended up approving or disproving me for being an authorized distributor. And so I just got everything sent back because I had a ton of different listings, even though they were all used like new. That was very weird. So honestly, even though I didn't respond to their email that first time, I just waited for my stuff to sell out and then stopped worrying about it. I probably should have and just let them know where I got the products from, because they might have added me as an authorized distributor, but now I'm having to deal with this hassle. And so I still might actually reach out to them and see if what I'm doing is classified as an authorized distributor. I doubt that it is. Save that for later. But that may allow me to sell more of their products later. In this case, because it seemed like they were going to take prompt action like they said, I wanted to make sure that I didn't get in any trouble with Amazon. This is what I responded to them. Oh, that's bad. I think these have been open for like 2 months. Yeah, smell it. It does not smell like good coffee. If any of you just need to get off the internet for a second. Unless you did it as a joke, in which case you're my type of funny. Okay, so this is what I said. And I did actually respond on Amazon because I didn't want them to have to worry about that at all. I said, "Good morning. As regarded in your letter, I will remove said ASIN from my inventory. I was not aware that trade name was registered under the same brand, and although I purchased that inventory from a reputable dealer, I will remove it. Thank you." Because I don't want to get an IP claim. So now I just need to make sure that Gear 4 and Mophie stuff I'm not selling. And if I do end up picking some up, I might just reach out to the brand because I have their contact information just to see if I would be able to sell it. I was really hoping we'd get a win out of the coffee today. In terms of getting regular IP claims, I'm not the best at that. I just look up a plan of action template and I just adjust it with my information. And the last time that I got those approved from Amazon, because even though they do remove themselves from your account after 6 months, you should still deal with all of your IP claims that you get. And it can be as simple as this. So pretty much just because they want you to take responsibility, honestly, almost everything is automated anyways. I just said, we did not ensure that for this ASIN, we had the correct third-party selling privileges from the brand. Moving forward, we will ensure to no longer sell the item and ensure we have undergone appropriate selling approvals for the future ASIN. And I'm talking in the we because it's for my company. And then Amazon responded the next day. They said, "We appreciate your efforts to comply with our selling policies. The record for this policy violation will continue to be present on your account health dashboard for either 180 days or until the listing is reinstated. If you would like to reinstate your listing, please submit an appeal from the account health dashboard. If you're not interested in reinstating your listing, no further actions are required." So that's pretty much all you have to do. Just make sure that Amazon knows that you want to be in compliance with all of their things, but it's still a big old pain in the butt. Hope your coffee was better than mine. Love you. See you tomorrow.